went out in the first round of playoffs there. These guys have felt that, but they're a much stronger team from them, and they're really going to have to dig deep now.
Yeah, and I'm looking at Leaf. I think that there's going to be some stopping power that is going to be necessary. I see also on the other side against only one duelist this time around.
Unfortunately, the fate is in their hands. Dog and Baby Bay, this is their best map for a reason.
G2's blade was left dull and blunted on the first map. 13-3 the way of Fnatic. Now we'll get to see how things shake out on Bind. Again, a map that generally has been very strong for them, and the Des mentioned it. There'd be no surprise if it necessarily went the other way with a similar scoreline, Dre.
Yeah, it's always been a solid map for G2 in terms of their macro, but it's also a map where Icy has some really good pop-off moments. He looks so much more comfortable and confident on a map like Bind. He really gets in the enemy's face. He's not afraid to take the double satchels over Truck. Keep in mind they are starting on the defensive side this time, so they don't have to deal with that defensive side aggression that Fnatic did to them in the last half. But
comfort and confidence will be paramount for G2 as they're fighting for their life, not just in this tournament, but again for the year. Against a team that seemed perfect on Haven. Very little error. We'll see if their attack side Unbind reflects a similar performance.
We'll also see if Alphier pops off on the Gecko. If he's farming and he's getting those orbs like he did on the ISO, that Thrash can be very, very devastating as well.
I mean, we've talked so much about how instrumental of a tool that it can be. Oftentimes seeing it in a bonus and that converting into 3 rounds, 4, snowball into 5, 6.
Yeah, but look at this, Doug. Jonah P. and I believe it's Trent.
Yep.
They've gone on a solo mission right now. And they're really deep behind enemy lines.
There's nothing to cover it. The only thing that might catch him is if they decide to turn around. Jonah P on the prowl with, again, Trent over his shoulder. Every single target spotted, every single corner checked. Now, finally, gunfire erupts as Alphier is the first to fall. Hero's going to join in as Chronicle on the swing. Not able to settle, finally does onto Trent. Delivers on a second. Jonah P down, and now numbers equal.
That's so insane that we're in a 3v3 right now with how the start of that round went for G2.
The possibility, the ability to capitalize on a moment and to swing things their way. But again, Fnatic on the counterpunch.
Yeah, and Boaster, he's in pocket right now. He has all this space. He's controlling all of U-Haul. The smoke on site to separate. He might go hunting for a play of his own right now.
So it's just tough 50-50 to be in. You can choose to swing in, you can choose to take the fight, or you can tuck inside of it. But be careful, they're going to check you, they're going to swing you. Leaf cleans him up. The spike does not get planted. Chronicle's doing his best to frag his way into the round, but time will expire. Yes, another kill comes through for Chronicle, but G2 get the pistol.
Some crazy shots out of Chronicle to even the score. But the nade that Icy held onto from the start of that round, with the time going so low, Fnatic, they were left to their devices. They just couldn't get that spike planted in time. And Boaster, he got caught at the worst moment trying to re-smoke that. This last shot was beautiful. Nice settle on a Jonah P. That was almost really bad, though, for G2.
Yeah, it was.
But now, finally, some confidence going back in favor, and Icy, he got 2 into that round. Sheriff headshot to start off.
He's got the Outlaw this round. A little bit of pace out from Fnatic.
Yeah.
Durka the first to fight with the Bucky in hand.
And when we think about Bind, we think of, players giving up the A site, but playing back site. This time around, it's Heaven, Spawn, Shower.
That doesn't feel good. That does not feel good. Heroes down, Boaster. Surely not along for this world much longer. 6 HP. Somehow gets away and buys some time. It's upgraded to Weapon 2 as a Bulldog in hand.
Yeah, the members are low right now on G2. Look at Valen, 20 HP. Chronicle's going for the late flank.
What a bloody mess this would be. But that's a Bulldog down. Flash on the other side as they try to push through the wall. Jonah P on the snap to Alphier, but Durka on the exchange.
To stick.
Icy's gotten it to half. He's the last one left standing in a 1v2. With the Outlaw in hand, has found his one. But Durka on the other side with the Bucky again. There's just not a lot of time on this. Durka can swing, but he's gonna hold it. Oh my goodness. The MasterCard Thrifty as Fnatic tie us up.
0.05 seconds. I was praising G2 from their setup, but Leaf, he got absolutely sniped by Alpha, I believe, with a classic. He was in heaven and he got deleted. Gotta see the replay on that.
Surely we get one more look. Yeah, this was a tough spot to be in, and Hero taking one down with them, but that shot out from Alpha is just filth.
Nastiness, and now G2. That's so bad for them. What a round from Fnatic. Stealing it away.
Again, such a desperate need for something to go your way. And the window has been shut. Fnatic now, they're the ones with the gun advantage. They're the ones with the Outlaw. They're the ones with the rifles.
And I was setting it up in the last map. Fnatic are a team that when given a lot of space, they're able to formulate the correct plan most of the time. It's when teams smother them as well. Take the fight to Fnatic. When they're the ones getting headshotted instead. Where they fall apart, they crumble.
You have to step into the ring, and you have to be willing to fight. You have to be willing to brawl.
You cannot show this team the amount of respect that G2 is showing them right now. But it's so tough because that's the bread and butter for G2. That's been their success all year long.
You mentioned that this matchup really doesn't seem to favor G2, and at least for now we're tied, but Fnatic looking like we're just waiting for another round to come through.
They have such a good read on everything. They get the first blood most of the time on their attacking rounds. I mean, keep in mind, Haven is their map, but
right, sure.
But right now, anti-eco, they get the pick. They freeze. They don't rush the plan. They set late flanks up like this. And then once they start getting confident, I mean, Alpha, he's just going to try to get his ultimate online. 2 orbs off of it. 1 away now from that Thrash. Chronicle 1 away from the Viper's Pit.
And the most devastating part of all that is that they all upgraded weapons. They're all carrying rifles into the next.
Yeah, their economy is insane right now. It's what happens when you win a Thrifty the way that they did.
And then convert the next with really no disadvantage.
And the economy for G2, once you guys see it after this replay, you're going to see it's an absolute shambles. That's why you see Boaster buying the Outlaw. He knows that a lot of players on G2 are going to have light armor.
It's only Valen with full armor here. The biggest investment, the greatest spend.
And that's so hard to play against because once they figure out that Boaster has one, I mean, it might be too late. They might have an entry onto the actual site. So it's this two-pronged approach again, this contact style on Fnatic's attack. One person will walk up, the other one will hold an angle for him, and they'll gather space like that.
Playing anti, and Chronicle just plays his position perfectly.
Beautiful. They were so ready, and now, yeah, what's the reaction? Oh!
That's a hell of a reaction there.
Yeah.
Val not taking any damage, dealing with the Outlaw, and tying things up at 4. The pit's still in play for Chronicle, though. And you mentioned it at the end of the previous round, Alpha 1 away from his Thrash.
Yeah, if he can get that B long. That should be a free B site. But it's going to be...
Durka's got to be careful here. There's a lot of lean towards B. If he tries to take the TP, they have lost sand. We'll see if Hero can do anything about it. The Prowler to attempt to pave the way, instantly cleared out. There's Alpha's Thrash. Now they can go forward. Now they can commit.
Really good molly to delay, but Chronicle spams Trent in the process. And he's just going to clean up house.
He's gotten 3 on the round already. The spike down, the Thrash back up online, and Icy and Valen left to answer a miserable question. Do you try to go for this?
It's 4v2.
Do you save?
Oh, this was bad last time around for Fnatic, but Chronicle, he's taking things into his own hands. He has 4 to the round, and Durka will clean it up. Again, nothing going the way of G2. The pistol round, it looked promising, but even so, with that late flank that they had, they still made it even numbers. They really have to fight for every inch. Oh, he was full blind.
Dude, I thought he was playing anti with how clean that was. Forget it.
He was in the beginning, but sometimes it just goes your way. The follow-up, though, is what was most impressive. A true one-man army on the site.
Yeah, I would say that was nice. I must agree with Durka there.
And although it was Alpha popping off and Durka popping off in the last map, Chronicle, he was kind of quiet. He's now sitting at 10-2. Didn't even need to commit that Viper's Pit.
Not a bad performance at all.
And he probably won't commit it this round either.
There's no reason to, really.
It'll most likely be a very slow approach, seeing for any type of aggression G2 does. 2 Stingers, 3 Sheriffs across the board. Some ult economy working up towards G2. So not all is lost. It's just an info game now, Durka. He has an idea.
Dude, they read the bait.
Yeah, he's sniffing it out.
Jonah P was supposed to be the trap.
But with those two players being seen in hookah, that's what causes the speed up in short A, but it's still a contact approach. Now the pop. He's going to be able to pick that one up. The delay on A.
They realize they don't have full showers control because, again, of Hero's positioning and because of his utility. Boaster, careful now. Again, almost getting caught in utility, realizing that he's being hunted, he's being pushed, he's being pressed, and he's been dealt with.
30 seconds left.
Again, yeah, he got caught out sleeping.
I mean, but again, such a small victory in light of every other devastating defeat. Hero again finding 2 quick kills. They've kept this one competitive. Sure, they're tied at 3 apiece. Then just as quickly as I say that, the advantage goes the way of Fnatic.
Yeah, the mid-rounding from Boaster, it's been very good the last couple days. Yeah, yesterday they lost, but the stuff he was doing on Abyss, the decisions he was making, really got them back into it.
A map that they felt like they should have been able to get away with. Any attempt at a retake is instantly stuffed. It's squelched, it's stymied, it's completely obliterated.
The around the world strat.
Take a look at it one more time. Again, Boaster was caught in a position, and again, there was just this tiniest of windows where we thought G2 might be able to catapult this into an advantage of any kind. But the response from Fnatic.
Nice listening to me, boys.
See, that mid-rounding that I was speaking of. He's hit a flow state right now. He might not be at the top of the scoreboard. He's quite the opposite of that, including the last game. But it doesn't matter when you're winning stuff 13-3. And now you're up 4-1 against G2 on one of their best maps.
It's still early in this stage of the tournament. But remember, this hardware has what's been so elusive to Fnatic in their time together. If they keep playing like this, I mean, it might be high time.
Yeah. And they're picking the right site right now. Just now the rotation made it in from Trent. But it's so hard to hold against this double initiator comp.
Dude, the C's nade was Nidus. Durka knew exactly where he was going to be. They pop the ult. He's going to find another. Trent falls. Icy's going to try to exchange with his own. Waiting for the right time to strike. Pulls the trigger. Does connect onto Durka. Just a sliver of health to his name. Now disposed of. Nade's going to separate things for just a moment. Again, keep a close eye on Icy's position. Val, no smokes. He's got the molly, and he's caught with utility out. Terrible timing. Can Icy deliver for G2 with Boaster on the other side? Yes, he can. A 3K for him as the defuse comes through, and G2 get their second.
The problem is it's ugly for G2. Icy, it is good that he's stepping up big in this moment. I said he's very comfortable on this map. He's very confident. But it was so hard fought. It's not consistent to rely on him like this. So yeah, it will be G2's second round win. But off of what? Off of heroics. Seems like G2 are getting caught in these weird moments. Valen with a molly out. He heard Alfier use that Gecko flash.
One round at a time has to be the approach. It has to be the mentality for the number 2 seed from Americas. 4 ults to speak of on the defensive side. And they're big ones.
And Fnatic, they're going to run it back. They like what they saw last time around. Durka gets a freebie on the Leaf. Not close enough with that judge. And now it's the follow-up. I mean, Jonah P has to give.
Durka with a lot to deal with. And not able to find any of it. Trent's positioning was really nice. Jonah P on the swing. This feels a lot more brawly. This feels notably more bellicose. But again, advantage Fnatic. A deep hit now that they're going to attempt to counter, but Valen will crumble. Under the weight of the moment, under the dominance of Fnatic.
Fnatic are making G2 look so uncomfortable. They're making G2 play a different game that we're not used to seeing, Doug. They don't look controlled. They don't look poised. They look like they're rushing things, rushing steps even. And it's all because of the way that Boaster is calling. There needs to be a timeout for G2. They need to gather their bearings. Because Fnatic, if they keep going in this exchange, they're going to take this one away. It might be another 9-3 half.
G2 decides to leave hands off the wheels for now. Josh not calling a timeout.
You could really feel the weight of the moment getting into the head of G2.
And early flash on the swing. Yeah, they have a little bit of space sand, but nothing really to do with it.
And the thing is that they get that space and Fnatic will take space elsewhere.
Yeah.
It's very reactionary.
The pendulum may swing one way, but Fnatic will quickly take what's given to them. I think the other alarming thing to consider is G2 dumped almost every ult they had into that previous round. Durka now satcheling up, perched over the site, trying to stare into heaven's window.
No one's holding his U-Haul right now. I guess I say that as Chronicle picks it up, but they're ahead of that.
Now he realizes where they're coming from.
Icy's been so good on this map. This nade molly combo.
Again, there's futility in trying to stand in front of the utility. They're instantly flushed out. 3 members stunned. No need to swing. They can take the fights exactly when they want them. As soon as you have attention drawn one place, the hit comes from elsewhere.
This Fnatic, they look insane. This is the #1 seed from EMEA.
They look like it. They're playing like it.
Yeah, they're playing so together. It's something that I praise G2 for doing quite often.
I mean, that's their calling card usually. But the truth is, Fnatic have taken that approach, they've added their own flavor to it, and they're obliterating G2 with it.
The individual playmaking for G2, it's just not there. But even so, the team play isn't there either. Keep in mind of the retakes that we've witnessed previously in these rounds. It's been scattered. Fallon running out CT alone into a Viper's pit while there's 2 players in hookah. They're not really playing off one another like we know that they do normally. But it's all because of the way that Fnatic is playing. They're making them very uncomfortable in these situations. Corralling them in a U-Haul in that moment, not giving these free picks. Icy, he stepped up, but it's just not been enough.
There's got to be more. There has to be more on the side of G2. And so on the eve of the 9th round, they call a timeout. Josh decides to get involved in the conversation and see what he can do. It's been a stomp. It's been another borderline perfect performance from Fnatic.
He's got to be telling him as well, not like this. We can't go out like this, surely.
With every round that passes, the sun sets a little bit more on G2's dreams and hopes and aspirations of lifting the championship trophy. Opportunities are running thin.
Yeah, a team that's been getting 3rd consistently, 2nd in an A consistently.
I mean, to be on the podium in Shanghai and to bow out like this after a brutal stomp from Fnatic would be just devastating. But the truth is, again, Fnatic have just played perfect.
So this time around, it will be a Viper's Pit committed into B long by Leaf. Usually the reaction of teams is to either flip from hookah or just go towards A. G2 have the fighting squad here. Valen, Icy, and Trent. And they're really aggressive and short. But there's pings. There's pings from Fnatic to clear out close areas.
Alfear 1 point away from his Thrash. The Prowler spotting the first. That crossfire is going to get dealt with.
Icy stuck. He uses a satchel, but he doesn't get out.
He uses the second one to try to find safe passage, and somehow, by the thinnest of margins, manages to survive.
But that's no satchels now to cut the ice, to cut the cake on the retake.
We'll see if they even get that far. Fnatic calling a freeze into the round. The second Prowler through. Chronicle was glowing Phantom, pushing his way forward for Fnatic. Eye goes out, Wingman goes through. Plant not committed yet. They're going to try to flip back. Not fully convinced that they like what they see. Additionally, they've left Chronicle.
Oh, barrel scene. Jonah takes out Boaster.
That's a punish. How much more can they find? Leaf with 2, make that 3. A great response. How Chronicle was planted over A is left alone.
It was good calling from Boaster.
10 seconds
He was just a little too far ahead. The barrel was seen by Jonah P on site, and that was enough for Leaf to just absolutely mow down everybody jumping out of hookah. But the call was good. Boaster baited the bait. baited the rotation from Trent back over to A off of the tap of the spike. The transition with the TP was good. The execution just wasn't quite there. But again, it feels like it was heroics. Felt like Leaf really had to pop off in this moment. If Leaf falls early, if he goes 1 for 1.
He doesn't do that.
Mm-hmm. If he goes 1 for 1, I think Fnatic take that round. They're just playing as more of a unit right now. It's way more cohesive.
A little bit of an aggressive look towards Showers.
Oh, he's going to get detained here.
Alfear's here, and you're right. He's got the Thrash.
There's even a tether being held out.
There are 3 here. This could be devastating.
And Astra Orb is going to be on the left side as well if they actually want to commit into Showers. This is a really nice setup.
First ping on the minimap. There's the eye. Cleared. Icy's position still concealed.
That is 2 smokes baited out in 30 seconds of this round, though. So Fnatic, they're aware that for the retake, G2 only have 1 Brim smoke left. That'll give them the opportunity to contact up short, because if that smoke is used too early on, G2 will not have enough utility to stall the plant.
And so it leaves Valen in such a miserable condition and position. When does he invest it there? He decides to. The
But he has nothing else. Valen's going to die. Oh, that was so close.
Just barely finding the safe space amongst all the lava. Icy tucked in the smoke, the nade, the satchel. He's buying time. He's trying to delay as best as he can. Trent able to get 2. Icy on the swing. Durka there. Satchels exchanged. And it's only 2 on the side of Fnatic now. Holy smokes. He does that, and now he's got the ult. Icy so weak. Durka gets another. A 2v3. This was a 2v5, if I'm not mistaken. If they can convert this, what in the world will be left? Boaster spotting 1. A 1v3 left to convert. Confidence from the captain as he delivers another. Can he find clarity in the calamity? No! Jonah P saves the day for G2.
Boaster's always so close, but he can never finish. But what a round from Trent. He got 3 in CT. And Jonah P winning the head-to-head. Full steam forward, full confidence ahead. Look at the spam. Great spray control. And this time around, G2 did a really good job of holding back sight. Durka, he almost brought this one back.
Boaster almost brought it back too. I mean,
yeah. No, this pre-fire 1-tap was cold. We didn't get to see it.
It doesn't have to be pretty. Yeah, it doesn't have to be pretty, and it hasn't been for G2. Let's not mince words here.
Let's keep it a buck.
But they still find themselves within 2 rounds.
Yeah, finally bringing it back, getting some momentum back in their own favor. Icy can't connect, but he has a showstopper of his own. If it's a commit onto this B site, that showstopper's going to do some mad damage.
What lights the fuse, though? What's the primer? Gen P on the swing, spotting 2 here. Leaf has been dealt with, but Icy, the firing squad over his shoulder.
What a great trade from Icy.
Able to equalize.
It is 1 for 1, though. Every time G2 go down numbers, they double up towards this A site. They'll push together, whether that's short. This time around, it's going to be Showers. But they're so spread.
3 cheating towards a short. And they've invested the Seekers here.
Yeah.
They've been starved. They've been deprived of information.
They don't like the silence.
It's deafening. Hero now, position given away. He's been spotted. He's been cleaned up. Cautious now because Boaster's going to be on this late flank. Is there anything to spot him? Is there anything to stop him? Just a bit short of being the hero that Fnatic needed in the previous round, and he might be able to clean it up. Icy choosing wisely to hold onto the rocket for just a bit longer, not connecting. Again, Boaster on the flank, taking his time, patiently prowling his way forward, and playing everything to near perfection. Another kill found. As Durka's going to join in on it. They've got to deal with him. Trent's gotten it to half, but that's all it can be so far. As Valen's left alone, he's going to get dropped. Fnatic gets to 7 as Durka gets 3.
What a re-flank from Boaster, getting a pick. Making sure that Gecko cannot defuse the spike. And Durka coming up huge. 16 and 6 for the lad. He hasn't slowed down since last map. And when you think of Durka, you think of great raise plays. You think of bind as well. And this is the attacking side he's doing this, where he has to be the entry. But it's actually in the mid to late round where he's finding most success.
Outlaw in the hands of Boaster. For good reason, light armor on 4 of 5 members for G2. Between that and the Guardian, there's so many things that could punish. There's so many things that could hurt.
Fnatic have done a really good job of trying to identify where the aggressiveness is from G2 in these rounds, in these early rounds. And Boaster has done a great job formulating a plan in the mid round. Look at this. They're abusing the B-Long Viper Orb. They're so far ahead of this. They should be aware that it's going to be a hookah walkdown, or players at least corralled in hookah.
Yeah, I mean, Boaster's going to see it, or at least he almost had a timing on it. Heroes in such a brutal spot. They know that he's there. He's been dealt with.
The speed up on B site, though. The spike should get planted.
And now they can go ahead and try to take back site. If Durka really wants to, he can push all the way into spawn. It looks like it's exactly what he's doing. Trent has to be careful.
He's not planning.
He's going to be the first on the swing. And he just can't stand up to Durka.
Just so unaware. They're aware that Chronicle is here, though. Valen made contact with him. But the timing.
Icy. Stomping like a Clydesdale around the way as Chronicle gets 2. And now the Cosmic Divide has torn them asunder. Separated. Silenced. How do Leaf and Valen get back into this? Look at Alfier's position. It's gorgeous. Posted up on the other side of the wall. All the info he can possibly gather, but Valen.
His barrel was sticking out.
He's gotten it down to a 2v2 to close the half. A tap of the spike, but it's not committed. Leaf just walks into his death. Valen on the tap. No real way to pull this off. He's gotten it down to 1, but again, time is short. He's got to commit to this, but he runs away. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Fnatic hit 8.
Another great half called by Boaster. It's not 9-3, but 8-4.
I mean,
you'll take it.
It's damn close.
And it felt like they were in the driver's wheel the entire time. Look at that little barrel. Unfortunate, but it didn't even matter.
Oh my god, Van.
I mean, maybe there's one more blunder, I guess. Either way, Fnatic up big. We've got Josh Ortiz's parents standing by on the stage right now for an interview. Take it away.
Hello everyone, Jen Lee here, standing with Josh Ortiz's mom and also his auntie to talk to them about today a little bit. 안녕하세요.
안녕하세요.
Now, Mama RT, Josh actually said he's extra nervous today because you are here supporting him. And you know, what's it like watching your son perform and leading the team at a big event like this? 어머님, 감독님이 사실 오늘 가족이 와가지고 너무너무 떨린다. 그리고 이제 뭔가 내가 일하는 모습을 인정받고 또 보여드리고 싶기 때문에 너무 기쁘다는 얘기도 하셨거든요. 좀 이렇게 아드님이 팀을 이끌어가는 모습 보니까 어떠신가요?
너무 감동이고 장하고 반대했던 저희들이 너무 부끄럽고 예, 그렇습니다. 예.
Well, I am just so moved. I am very touched. I'm so proud of him as my son. And you know, it's a shame that we said no when he first said he wanted to work in esports. Now, you know, it's weird for parents, though, of course, to see their children, you know, jump into esports industry, wanting to work in esports. So what was he like as a kid? And, you know, talk to me about how hard he's been going after his dream of working in esports. 반대하셨다고 하잖아요. 사실 부모의 입장에서는 처음에 e스포츠에 이렇게 일한다고 했을 때 좀 받아들이기 쉽지 않으셨을 것 같아요. 이제 아드님이 얼마나 열심히 해왔고 꿈을 쫓아왔는지 좀 설명 부탁드릴게요.
이 게임에 대한 비전을 항상 버리지 않았고 나이가 먹었음에도 불구하고 계속 그 꿈을 가지고 있었어요. 그리고 특별히 이 발로란트 게임이 나왔을 때 정말 관심을 많이 가졌고 그리고 우리 자슈한테 정말 맞는 게임이었어요. 그래서 계속해서 그 관심을 갖다 보니 지금 이 자리까지 온 것 같아요.
He was very, very passionate about esports, always. He's been chasing his dreams. And even though when he got older, he just never lost that vision and the passion about gaming itself. And when Valorant came out, we thought, oh, this was the perfect game for him. And it's the fact that he kept pushing himself to chase his dream, make his dream come true, that kind of enabled him to be here leading the team today. So I'm super proud of him as a mom. Well, thank you so much, and good luck to you and Fnatic.
Always good to hear from family members in positions like this. I mean, the reality of the matter is, though, G2 are in a position for dreams to become nightmares. If they cannot convert on this attack half of Bind, their year is done. Meanwhile, Fnatic, masters and commanders of their fate.
They've been taking the fight to G2 all series long. Jonah P's gonna get caught here. He's dead, he's done.
He has no idea. A quick tap, assassination style, never knew it hit him.
And look at how slow G2 are to make a decision. They want to take the teleporter.
But they decide in that moment, just briefly, to dig their heels in and turn and fight. And so that equalizes things for at least just a little bit of 3v3 Althea with 2 HP. Trent not much better off. A stiff win cleans up both. Do they realize how close Hero is? Val's the first to fall. They're gonna have to attempt to fight for this retake. Boaster now joining the fray. He's healthy too with a ghost in hand. Silence, just a moment of pause as G2 realize this is a desperate need to pull off this pistol, and it's gotten down to 1. Trent is so weak. Boaster left in a 1v1. A catastrophic call to arms for G2.
Will this be the one, Doug?
Boaster's gotten it to half. The spray coming through, 40 HP again, just a tap, just a dare. There's the swing, he spots the heal. He's nipping at it, but again, the timing, the position from Trent is gorgeous. The kill comes through for Boaster, but the round for G2.
And the second pistol round as well on top of it. Good proactivity from Fnatic, but they couldn't settle.
Remember though, this is where disaster struck in the first half. Yeah, they got the pistol. It was messy, but it worked. And this is where things changed.
And I almost want to see G2 take a more aggressive approach to this anti-eco. I don't think they will, Doug, because they're not a team that likes to really do that and take risks in a round when you don't need to.
That's not the G2 way.
But it really feels like they need to make some magic here. They need to really start feeling it.
Durka with the Bucky again. 2 satchels. No armor. 18 and 8. Chronicle falls. Alpha does too. And so far, G2 with a much better attempt at holding the line.
And 2 rounds shown now that G2 like to do a 4-1 heavy lean towards B. This is all conditioning. Next round, maybe you'll see a change of pace. Maybe a look towards showers. But for now, it's just a freeze of the round, using Sky utility for more info. It's timing. Is Boaster gonna find it? Barely misses it.
Hero just eyed back showers, didn't tag anyone, including Leaf. So now he can fill in on the space behind him. If they want to commit to B, they can, but they can also take the T. Well, I guess they can't anymore.
Yeah. Just letting Wingman plant that.
Yeah, now Leaf on the move.
And the contingency plan of him as well, just as you said.
Heavy numbers from G2 back towards B. There was that first satchel, still one more to try to propel him back into stealing another round away from G2.
And this is where G2 shine. They get the spike planted. It's the post-plant scenarios. The cycle of utility, the fighting together. Leaf also getting a kill on the Boaster from the flank. That's going to live rent-free in the rest of Fnatic's head. Now they have to be worried. Yeah, it's only an anti-eco, but still. Every round moving forward, when you see the main pack of G2, you're going to have somebody staying, holding for Leaf. So it was a little bit of aggression towards B long, but ultimately a freeze. And free picks going their way. A lot of light armor on the side of Fnatic. That's why you see the Outlaw invested by Leaf, and he's deadly with this weapon.
Their money's in such a good spot, too. I mean, if they can convert this, we might have a game on our hands.
Yep. We're within 2 rounds right now. That's that look I was telling you about in showers, the change of pace, the new look. Sky's shown towards B the first 2 rounds.
Now the dog out A.
Yep, that keeps 3 members of G2 of Fnatic towards A site. But it's a heavy lean B. That spike is right there.
They hear him there. And Alfier gets enough info. They realize they hear the stimmy. They know they're coming.
Yeah, let me get out of here. That's what he's saying right now. Trent went off a Thrash. But there's nobody towards the A side of the map right now for G2. So if they go back, there's going to be a lot they need to clear.
He's got to be careful. That Prowler did not connect, but Leaf has made a lot of noise. Boaster should know that he's here, but he's so careful, so quietly and so cautiously cutting up at the angle as he tries to swing. Boaster's still in a really good spot, though. Is there anything to flush him out? They don't have the dog. He does have a flash.
They're going to have to wait these smokes out, but he's just going to cycle them. The power of Astra is what we're seeing right now.
As it goes down, bullets erupt off the stun. No passage in. No safety found. But they've got Boaster controlled. They've got him cornered. They've got him cleared, and now there's going to be a fight through the other side of the TP. What can Leaf do? He's in such a brutal spot with an outlaw in hand. Joan P is going to join him. The Thrash clearing back out elbow. Don't think that connected. Yeah, Alfie are still in a really good spot. Look at Icy's position. As soon as he gets on the move, there may be something going on here. As Trent trying to keep them back. Durka will fall. And now they push. They're trapped in the telly.
Upgrades across the board. They're going to have to sit in this teleporter for as long as they can. But if you look at the minimap, look at Icy. He's going to flank him.
At least enough to open the door.
And that's an upgrade for the Bulldog.
He can Roomba his way through the TP. That's exactly what he's going to do. The door will open. Oh no, it trolled him a little bit. The angle wasn't great. Chronicle might survive this. They did their damnedest, but it wasn't enough. The angle on the Roomba is what doesn't open the door, and that's why Chronicle keeps the gun. Look, they needed
tiniest of margins.
They needed the bonus, and they got it.
Yeah, we have a game on our hands now.
Gotcha.
You can never truly count G2 out, especially on a map like Bind. As dominant as that attack half was for Fnatic.
I hit him 70.
They almost made me forget for a second who G2 was as a team.
The reminders will have to keep coming.
Look at this investment from Fnatic. 4 Buckies. Oh, he's in there.
The goop just obfuscates everything. There's no way for him to know. There was no way for him to go.
He couldn't do anything at all.
All right, maybe the other Buckies will find some success.
Or maybe it'll be Alfier who just walked all the way down B long. But Valen, he's holding the flank.
Chronicle the only one with a weapon, and now that sits harmlessly on the ground and showers.
Deleted.
This is such a patient, disciplined freeze. This is, I mean, this is G2 Valorant right here.
Show some utility, take control of whether the previous anti-eco was B-long this time. Take control of short A, freeze the round, wait for a walk-in.
They must be cautious here. That flash did not tag, but the outlaw will. Boaster tried getting into a position to punish, but he could not succeed. And so now G2 again are in a position where they, I mean, barring something going really sideways, they can carry even more of these weapons over. The finances will continue to boom.
Look at the economy right now. They're going to have a couple players hitting max cash.
Yeah.
Probably invest in shorties every single round. So good on a map like this where there's a lot of smokes, a lot of Viper orbs you can play off of. Alfie, I heard that reload. He's trying to cheese this kill onto Leaf, and he just might do it.
There's the wall. There's the snap. Alfier's down. Leaf's now 3 away from having his ult. And Hero falls.
Yeah. And honestly, Fnatic are a team that likes to buy a lot of light armors. They like to invest in rounds just like this. And that's why you're going to see Leaf using this outlaw and trying to punish that a lot more.
Durka was in such a miserable spot, man.
Yeah.
Roomba, he pops a satchel, and then he can't see it.
Where are you going to go?
Yo, zero doubt, boys. Zero doubt we're winning this game. Let's go. Get me the Lotus. Let's go, Jacob.
Yeah, they can feel it in the server right now.
There's confidence brewing.
It's a swing of momentum. And the first time out of this map for Fnatic, who suddenly kind of feel like they're on the back foot.
Yeah, Elma throwing the brakes on the situation. choosing to slow things down. And again, an opportunity for Josh to talk to his troops.
And this is just a byproduct of what happens when you lose the pistol. You lose the bonus. I mean, they've lost both pistols on this map, something that they won on both in the other. The IGLing so far from Valorant, it's been pretty awesome on this attacking side. He hasn't really had to do anything too special, but just the conditioning, the game plan on that attacking half, showing a lot of pressure towards B with the Sky. On the bonus, showing towards Showers, keeping 3 players towards A. That opened up the ability to convert that round and put them in this spot where it's a tie game. Valen, he's sitting on a Brim ultimate. He might cook some players. Alfier, the only one on the opposing end.
He's got his ult. Yeah, you're right. Boaster's a little bit away from, you're just one away from having his. We'll see what they dial up. You see that orb instantly go through. A little bit of presence towards Fountain from G2.
Oh, Hero, he was trying to block that orb, but he just couldn't get there in time.
Yeah, not able to hit the headbutt. A recalled smoke results in a kill on both sides.
Kills like that usually tend to favor the attacking side. B long space gathered.
That's so nice from Boaster, understanding all of the space that's been taken and realizing that that's their weak spot. Valorant has to be careful here. He's going to try to get across. They hear him. They know he's there, and they're going to try to cut him off. There he is. He's been spotted. He's been dropped.
That's the cue to take B site, though, and they're going to flip. They're not out of this just yet.
A 4v3 the way Fnatic, and again, Alfier's got his thrash. Such a powerful tool in the retake. The thing is, it's from really far back. G2 showing a lot of respect here.
Yeah, no real value gathered from that thrash. He might be able to pick it up, though, and Wingman could get on the spike.
The Mosh will buy a little bit of time to deny some of the flood out if that's what their attempt was. Dizzy over the top, tagging a couple.
But it's not halved. It should have been halved.
When do G2 go? They might not get the chance. Jonah P gets dealt with.
A great retake. Using that thrash to identify if anybody's playing up close or in sight. The Fate Prowlers to clear out all of Hookah. And then from there, it was a never-ending cycle of damage utility onto the actual choke, where any members of G2 could actually kill the diffuser.
That trade out from Hero at the beginning of the round, you mentioned it, it tends to favor the attack, but when you're able to dispose of one and then you have Valen on the rotate, who gets dropped, doesn't have the ult to really be able to contribute or do anything like that, that's just such a massive advantage.
I feel like Valen in this map specifically has been getting caught out with his utility out quite a bit.
Yeah. And for as much as we saw Boaster almost getting punished in those exact same situations, he managed to stay alive.
Yeah.
The opposing IGL not nearly as fortunate.
All for the timeout. It was an answer back from Fnatic. Can they maintain this pressure?
They're going to try to accelerate here at blistering pace as they've invested the ult back toward Duhal, and that's going to flood him out. The problem is they haven't taken back sight.
And another problem is there was no delay.
He's got to know. They have to know that there's a flank, but are they expecting two? Jonah P has been asked to make a stand. Can he deliver? He's going to spot the first, but he can't clean him up. Can Icy do what his teammate could not? No! Another round dominantly going the way of Fnatic. What can Leaf and Trent do? They're going to invest the pit? Such a disadvantageous situation, and now they're going to invest the showstopper on the other side, and it's all on to Leaf. Still trying to play around the pit, and he can't find safe space in. What a costly round.
Yeah, such a big investment. It does get kind of close there, but a 4v2. Durka had the showstopper to match the Viper's pit. And nobody dropped from Fnatic either. A little bit of a free kill there again on the Valen.
Yeah. Maybe they dropped one, but honestly, every single advantage has gone the way of Fnatic.
The last timeout is about to be used from G2.
I missed who he was talking about. It's probably better that I don't know.
I think it was the head-to-head against either, I think it was Trent or Icy. I don't know who it was in that moment. He's basically saying that they're nervous. And in that interview, you know, We heard them say, you know, Josh is nervous because his parents are here, but now he has to be nervous about Fnatic winning those back-to-back rounds. That's why there's the timeout.
Fnatic has given Josh 3 reasons to be nervous.
Yeah.
Right now. Nerves that are infinitely greater and infinitely heavier than any other nerve that's been weighing on him up until this point. Fnatic have hit 10.
And he could be saying all the right things right now, but it's not on him.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right.
G2 need to execute if they want to stay in this, bring it to a map 3.
Meanwhile, Durka's very quietly put up 21 and 11.
Yeah. Chronicle, who started off, what, 10 and 2, he's still up there, man. And now we have an operator online. Durka, he was looking very snappy on Haven.
All of Fnatic has looked snappy, to be honest.
I will say G2 are a team that tend to do very well against operators.
So they bully Hero off this initial angle. They get Trent his ult. Now what? Where do they go from here? There's that op creeping forward, holding the line. And now they freeze around this. They've gotten Durka in a really good position. Now they can play the rest of the map the way they want.
Yeah, you can almost heavy lean towards A like you're seeing on the mini-map. The problem with Bind is Hookah, it's wide open. When you don't run a Sentinel, you kind of need a player there for peace of mind. Boaster's kind of reading into it, though.
Yeah, the orb goes up, and Chronicle realizes there's a real good chance of someone on the other side. A couple of warning shots delivered, but responded to.
Yeah. And with no utility being invested from the attacking side, Boaster has to double back. It's going to be a slow re-clear of this Hookah area.
Yeah, and you mentioned just a couple of moments ago that this is the weak spot. This is what's unclear. Durka's gotten a little bit further up.
Had he had done that, what, a second ago, he probably gets one?
Yeah.
Isn't that insane?
The interesting thing here, too, is it's all of this duelist utility that's intended to make noise, but he's got to find safe passage out. What a snap from Icy. Where do they go from here, though? They can try to lean back to the other side of the map if they want. Alfie, spotting Wingman with Spike in hand, will fall. 13 seconds left. They've burned this candle down really low. Can they flood behind it? The spam coming through. Trent's dead, but the Spike down. The attack in an advantageous position. Icy on the swing, but Leaf on the kill. Boaster and Hero left standing, and they've gotten it down to 2. Hero cannot stand any longer. He's left Boaster by himself with ult in hand in a 1v2. And then he still has to get the Spike defused, trying to very carefully play every single position. Face checks the smoke. Valen gets the kill. G2 get 9.
Doug, what an entry from Icy in that moment. Durka peeks into him with the operator. You think it's going to go in his favor, but he gets sat down. Look at this. Perfect crosshair placement in the post plant. Cleaning up Alpha in that moment, who had a real big window of opportunity to take him out. And then at the end there, G2 just playing that 2v1 very, very well.
But they're still down 1. There's still problems that have to be solved.
If they can win this round, though, the economy of Fnatic, it's going to be broken. We're already seeing...
Durka's in a really good spot, man. A cheeky little angle. Is there anything to clear it? Do they expect it? Maybe a flash? Yeah, it's exactly what it is. The smokes go down, the Dizzy goes through. The one-way's been disrespected. They fully cleared it, and Trent's all the way backside already. Boaster's been dropped. They're going to try to push into spawn. The problem is they don't have U-Haul control. This is danger on the other side. P still has a flash, but he's been spotted out on the swing. The Thrash. He's been tagged. He's been dropped. A 4v3 advantage the way of the attack still, but they've got to realize they don't have any control of short. Leaf knocked on the door. He tried sniffing his way in, but he couldn't. And so now the swing back towards Showers. Icy with so much to deal with. How do you drop the Turk? You cannot. The time is so short, though. Fnatic have to accelerate. They have to go, and they have to go now if they want to have a shot at this. I don't think there's enough time. They've tied the freaking game.
G2 in the post plants, and Icy with another entry into heaven. He satchels all the way up. What a nice set play to answer for that Viper's pit in short A. That was so decisive. They read into that, Doug. Boaster, he gets caught with his pants down. And Alpha, he didn't press mouse 1. His teammate dies because of it.
Run. Nice.
So now the economy, there's still a bit of a buy for Fnatic, but it's light armors on most of the players. They do have a lot of good retake ults.
Meanwhile, the stock market continuing to boom for G2.
And think about how many different looks Valorant has showed so far. The last 2 rounds has been everything showers. That's why you see Fnatic now trying to fight for it.
Hero and Chronicle both here.
Oh, Leaf, he's been so deadly in holding these angles.
That's not quite gonna be enough! But Leaf settles and gets 2! Perfectly teed up!
That's a free A site as well.
And so they flip the map, feeling some of the pressure, dealing some of their own, and now they've tucked tail, they've gotten away. Jonah P will be the casualty, but the site is theirs. Numbers the way of the attack. Icy hearing that. You gotta realize Alfier's waiting on the other side. It's messy, but it works.
It's another save.
And you're right, the economy now. The Great Depression that Fnatic have hit. They have to save.
They just cannot break through the post plants. This is the G2 everybody knows. The fundamentals on point. The calling on point. Icy on bind, popping off. He's not having, you know, a 20 bomb performance, but the entries he's been getting, it's like night and day from the last map. So G2 will now take the lead in this series once more. 11-10. No ultimates were even being able to be used by Fnatic. They're still sitting on the Astra ult, still sitting on Fade ult, and they still are forced to buy into this. It's been scrappy buys for the last 2 rounds.
They're towing the line.
Trying to make something out of nothing.
Early flash out towards Showers again.
Yeah, they just showed B long in the previous round. Now Fnatic are probably thinking, oh, is it going to be 3 members taking that? Are they walking in?
Well, remember, it was a couple of rounds ago. The flash came out, Hero got pushed off the angle, and they took Showers, they took the orb. And so that's where the threat is, but the Prowler's going to confirm there's no one there. They're going to fully commit out onto the crunch, though. Trent's dead.
Gets spammed.
That's a spike, well out of reach. Those little T-Rex arms aren't going to reach that.
Those ones aren't either.
But they're going to have to try. Tucked behind the cover of the smokes, they push their way forward. Icy's dead. Oh my gosh. Alpha Year's filthy.
That was so quick, Poster. He's going to clean up Leaf as well. But it was ultimately Hero with that Fade ultimate and the confidence that it gave him to swing out and take out Trent, isolating the bomb on site.
Fnatic refused to relent. They refused to fold.
What a fight.
There's that ult that you were talking about, and then the swing, and yeah, Hero gets another one there, but this right here from Alpha Year. Those two, as Valen was trying to find cover in the smoke, is denied that safety.
And Doug, at the start of that round, the setup was to deal with that 3-man walk-in if that was to happen. Hero was jiggling with a tether out. Alpha Year was B long towards the TP, ready for the crunch.
They're satcheling off the flash. They're trying to spot and punish Boaster, and they do. A considerable amount of damage dealt, but it's really lethality that's found on the other side. Leaf is dead. Of course, it's Chronicle. He started the map hot. He might be the one to close it. Icy satchels into his death. It's again disaster. What does Trent do here?
He's gonna die, he's left to his devices. Fnatic are giving ones though. But Hero will take him out. Fnatic did such a good job of weathering that storm. G2 not being able to execute Boaster in that moment. They had a window here. But Chronicle was the one that got the first blood instead, and that allowed everybody on this site, on B, to just mow them down. The power of Astra, we saw it on the attacking side in the post plant. This time around,
we win the game, okay?
Alfie are so determined, but this time around, it was the suck from Boaster, who, if he had been taken out, that hookah pop goes a completely different way. And just like that, Fnatic answer back and are on match point. And it's going to be a showers crunch. Is this the end?
There's danger here. They've got to realize that. Oh. You've got Durka and you've got Alfier waiting on the other side, and Alfier has his ult.
They want to pull the trigger so bad.
But Hero gives the space up. Vacates that aggressive angle.
They're still here. They still want it. Here it comes, Doug.
Can they weather this? It's 1-for-1. Meanwhile, G2 seem to have stabilized, at least for a little bit. But Alfier invests the Thrash. He's dealt with. He's done. Chronicle and Boaster left standing. G2 continue to play things down to the thinnest of margins. The most unforgiving of moments. But barring a clutch, OT may be on the cards. Boaster has his ult. How does he invest it here?
Spike planted.
The thing is Valen still has a molly, still has a stim. If he doesn't get taken out, even if that Astra ult goes up, it's not going to be enough.
There it is. It goes up. Chronicle's going to buy a little bit of time. There's the molly that you were speaking of.
And the re-wrap as well, short A. Look at Leaf.
There's no idea for them to know if it's on right now because they're still waiting on the other side of the wall. This one coming through will connect onto Leaf. Still work to be done. Boaster has gotten it to half. There's the flash. There's the swing! And Chronicle gets all three! Heartbreak for G2! The orange and black banner waves on! Fnatic survive!
What a way to close out Bind, one of G2's staples in Valorant. A 4v2. It was the demise of yesterday's game. To win it like that. Boaster with the spam at short A. And the spray down full blind double flashed from Chronicle to get 3 into the round.
That is one of the most ridiculous things I have ever seen.
Double flash.
To close the map, to send G2 home. An outrageous play. And G2,
heartbreak.
Will take a bow one last time in 2024.
They should be proud, man.
To be so close yet so far.
It hurts.
But again, what a ridiculous play from Chronicle, who started the map hot. Remember the way he kicked things off,
10-2.
For him to be the one to slam the door on the situation. Plenty of reasons to be happy, plenty of reasons to smile for Fnatic.
And that first map, what a performance from Alfier.
Yeah, he was nuts. But that moment right there, if Fnatic continue on this run, if Fnatic hoist the trophy at the end of this tournament, that moment will probably be one of the most defining moments of their tournament. One of the most defining moments of this run. That will go down in history.
Yeah. One of the best 2v4s we've ever seen in the server. On the grandest of stages. Crunch time.
Chronicle was a demon.
The last couple rounds, winning the head-to-head against Leaf how many times? Viper v Viper.
Fnatic were pushed on Bind. They strolled through Haven, but again, this tournament has eluded them. This bit of hardware has been what's avoided them for the entire time.
And here they are, with moments such as these, with performances such as these, with backs against the ropes.
Look at this.
They punch back. We've got Alpha here standing by for the Verizon post-match interview.